Thank you. Moving swiftly on, please welcome the EU Commissioner for Defence and Space, Andrius Kubilius, who will give a keynote address, followed by a short Q&A.
Dear all, Minister, good morning to everybody. Labas rytas, yes. It's a challenge to speak to all of you about artificial intelligence. Since you, or artificial intelligence, which you are using, know much more about artificial intelligence in defense than I can tell in my keynote. That is why I want to apologize in advance, since still I wrote my speech personally, not by AI. I am among those who still believe that even in the times of artificial intelligence, there will be a place for personal political thoughts, ideas, and personal understanding of the common challenges. I would like to start reminding that Isaac Asimov, a famous science fiction writer, once have said, "Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic." What is happening with artificial intelligence and AI in defense is like magic. Like magic, but it's not magic. It's hard work, skill, talent. So I just wanted to start by saying that you are doing a great job. Without you, without artificial intelligence for our defense in the European Union, there will be no European defense readiness. Because artificial intelligence is already a reality on the battlefield, used by China and by Russia, and massively used by Ukraine. For us in the European Union, there is an existential defense challenge. How not to stay behind, not only behind our adversaries, but also behind our transatlantic partners. Our independence in defense depends on how disruptive and effective we shall be in development of new technologies and how disruptive we shall be in our mindset how to organize our defense. Just a few facts which we know, and all of you know it even better. Ukraine's armed forces successfully use artificial intelligence, for example, to assist targeting. And Ukraine is developing mothership drones powered by artificial intelligence. The Gogol M mothership can carry 2 attack drones that deliver precision strikes at a range of 300 kilometers. But not only Ukraine is developing AI for drones, so is Russia. Russia is also using AI and machine learning for targeting. Russia is also building mothership drones, and Russia is now testing swarm drones of 2 to 6 drones on the battlefield. And not only Russia. China is making its big leaps forward on AI and warfare. In December, China launched a huge mothership drone, big as Boeing, with a 6-ton capacity. And just 2 weeks ago, China showed a soldier commanding a swarm of 200 drones. Swarms like this could only threaten soldiers at the front, but could be launched anywhere from ships, at all the costs of Europe. Europe needs you to make sure Europe will not stay behind. You can count on the full support of the European Union. We support our innovators with our defense funds. The European Defense Fund is the 3rd biggest investor in defense innovation in Europe, with 5.4 billion euro now committed to 225 projects. We are especially welcoming the new kids on the block. Last year, nearly 80% of grants went to new innovators, and more than 40% went to small, high-tech companies. European Defence Fund has committed 800 million to projects related to AI and digital and cyber defense. Projects on, for example, adaptive swarm platforms, collective brains to coordinate swarms of drones, to autonomously carry out mission objectives, or speed recognition and translation, to automatically translate radio messages in real time, of course essential in a multinational EU coalition, or artificial intelligence and augmented reality, to highlight critical threats on the soldier's display, preventing information overload, and to fuse data to detect threats, optical, radar, infrared. So the European Union supports you to develop artificial intelligence for our defense. Maybe our investments are still behind the numbers, what you and the United States or China are investing into AI for defense, but we are radically increasing defense investments. But to win this race, we need to do more than put AI in a drone or tank, or just to support development of other disruptive technologies for defense, like, for example, quantum technologies. We need to unleash radical defense innovation, not only on supply side, but also on demand side. Not only how we are supporting transformation of defense industry, but also how we are using disruptive approaches to radically changing procurement of innovative technologies or military training and military understanding of modern warfare doctrines. You cannot be ready for defense if the soldiers are trained only how to use traditional guns, bullets, and ammunition, but he is not trained how to use bytes in the battle or how to crash kamikaze drone on the target, because such drone by military authorities is considered as an inventory which cannot be lost during training. That is why we need to learn from Ukraine not only how to produce a drone or how to put artificial intelligence into the drone, but also how to create a whole ecosystem which would allow industries to produce and deliver to militaries most modern weapons which are designed and produced during the last half a year, not only the years before. Ukraine has the most dynamic defense industry in Europe. That is why we have set the Brave Tech EU initiative, sharing knowledge and linking EU companies to Ukrainian companies. And we are setting up the Drone Alliance with Ukraine. And we want to unleash your talent for Europe's defense readiness by creating an environment in which you, as innovators, can grow and succeed. Ukraine's experience is an inspiration and a goal for our defense transformation roadmap, which we adopted last October, in order to create a defense innovation and industry ecosystem, like Ukraine's Brave initiative, or what somebody calls Amazon for the battlefield. We want to connect you as innovators directly to industry, to defense ministries, to soldiers in the field, bringing disruptive approach to supply and also to demand together, to respond quickly to developing needs. So, if a military unit protecting the border says, we need a piece of kit, armies and defense ministers can order it, innovators can develop it, and industry can build it. But there are some limits. First, we are the good guys. We don't fund weapons forbidden by international law or killer robots without human oversight. We protect our values by respecting our values. But it will be important also to defend them with most modern weapons, especially if our adversaries will use such kind of weapons to attack our values. And second, of course, nothing is perfect, and artificial intelligence also is not perfect. It's vulnerable to cyber attacks and enemy artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence can make the difference in hitting a target, but still cannot always tell the difference between a tank and a tractor. We will always need human oversight, but the biggest obstacle is not in the technology. It is in our cooperation. Fragmentation and lack of unity is our most painful weakness in European defense. And that is bad for AI, Because we all know AI needs big data. That is why we fund a project called STORE, to create the first shared sovereign European database of defense images. Images needed, for example, for target recognition, which are now scattered over national databases. And we need sovereign military data cloud, not to be dependent on somebody else. But we need to be even more ambitious. It's not good enough if you develop amazing technology, if that cannot be built at scale and deployed quickly. And here is an important role for the member states. The member states are responsible for defense. We now need the member states to show leadership to develop European defense, European leadership, to be ready to fight as Europe with disruptive approach, to be ready to fight the wars of tomorrow, not the last wars again. Last year, the European Council set artificial intelligence as one of its defense priorities. And most of the capabilities defined by the European Council will need AI, like air and missile defense, drone and counter-drone capabilities, or deep precision strike. In the last year, we have created a lot of opportunities for our defense ramp-up, like 150 billion euro in safe loans, backed by the European Union budget, and member states have pledged to NATO to spend 6.8 trillion euro on defense by 2035. But there is a big danger now that they will spend this national money mainly national. A big risk is that we will end up with 27 fragmented artificial intelligence capabilities, or without such capabilities at all, which would match Chinese or American capabilities, or even Russian ones. So I call on member states to join forces to develop artificial intelligence together for our defense, because we need now to become an European giant in defense and an European giant in artificial intelligence. And we can do it. Not long ago, robots and artificial intelligence were science fiction, and now they are becoming reality. And not long ago, a Europe united in its defense was also something like science fiction. And now it is becoming a reality. Your work on artificial intelligence shows we are capable of anything, and we can build amazing technology in this continent. Then, surely, we can also unite as an European Union in our defense based on disruptive technologies, including artificial intelligence. Thank you very much, and razem do peremógy.